Thank you. Please be seated. We have one prefect recognition for the week, and it is from the Shawnigan Mall United Nations Club. It is for Benita Chang, Carrie Walker, and Isaac Leroy. They have been selected to staff at Vimun 2017, which takes place in Whistler. So we are very proud of their enthusiasm and their passion for getting involved with more conferences and helping out. So Benita, Isaac, and Carrie, please stand and take a round of applause from us.
Thank you, Cassia. Our opening hymn is number 27, Morning Has Broken. Such a beautiful morning. Let's sing out. Please stand quietly. Thank you. Please be seated. That was a little sad. We'll do better with the last hymn, right? Will we? Yeah. I think everybody's tired this morning. So let's wake up. And I just want to say a few things. You know, if you're from another culture and you come to North America, you might realize this, that we are really crazy when it comes to food in North America. We just have this really weird approach to food. You know, all these weird diets. And I heard about a diet, I might have mentioned this before to you, a diet that's based on blood types. So if you're like type A, you eat only meat. I don't know exactly how it works. If you're B, you eat vegetables. If you're O, you eat, you know, like cupcakes. It's one of those really weird diets. And we have and they're all contradictory, right? You know, don't eat too many vegetables, eat only vegetables. There's all these crazy diets. And I know that Lake's House has an interesting one. It doesn't matter what you eat during the day, as long as at night before you go to bed you have rice and Dairy Queen freezies, right? And I know that at Copeman's it's ramen noodles you have to eat at night. So everybody has their own weird kind of ways of eating. But really, what we should be doing is just eating with more intention, eating with more awareness, you know, paying more attention and being more grateful for our food. You know, I think that's probably the key, and it's something that we seem to miss a lot. That if we're grateful and thankful and aware of what we're eating, then, you know, we shouldn't have to worry about the rest of it too much. So in that, along those lines, I'm going to invite Cassie to come up. She has a little presentation about food and maybe some surprises. So Cassie.
Good morning, everyone. Today, myself and a friend would like to talk to you about the greatest topic of all time. Literally, everybody loves it. Today, we are going to be talking to you about food. And not just any food, specifically Shawnigan food. Many of us here may not take into that much consideration where the food we are served day in, day out comes from, which is very surprising considering how often we eat at Marion Hall. For myself, I've been chowing down on the food prepared by the kitchen staff for 5 years. Now, 5 years may seem like a long time, but looking around this room, there have been people that have been eating the food from Shawnigan since before Marion Hall was even constructed. That's a long time. The fact that we do not take the time to consider the various procedures and kilometers involved in getting our food from its raw stage to the meal served on our plates is flabbergasting, to say the least. Which is why this morning is going to be so important for everyone to think and to learn and go a bit more about what goes behind the scenes of the kitchen at Shawnigan. Before myself and my friend delve into some facts and statistics, we both like to give you some insight as to why we are bringing this topic to your attention. Last year, I took AP Human Geography, and one of the units we do is on agriculture. Within that unit, we learn about different types of agricultural practices around the world, such as subsistence agricultural farming, corporate farming, and local farmers markets. Throughout the unit, there were a lot of scary facts we learned about the process of how food is grown, and it's not the same from the time it eventually ends up digested in our stomachs. What did I walk away from that course thinking? Modern day corporate farming, it's just a business. The amount of food that goes to waste, unimaginable. The way millions of animals are treated prior to slaughter for our benefit, deplorable. I simply could not fathom the way food is being handled with a lack of care and consideration to the customers that not only buy the product, but consume it as well. When Lozzie said we would be making a trip down to our school's kitchen, I could never have imagined how impactful that day would truly be. For myself, going to the kitchen has been a routinely stop during my meals at Shawnigan, as I have to get food that accommodates to my plethora of allergies, so over the years I've become fairly familiar with how the kitchen looks. Going on this tour, however, and listening to what James McClellan, the head chef at Shawnigan, had to say about the labor process that goes into making our food was eye-awakening. Needless to say, I left feeling very relieved to know what actually goes into our meals is local and for the most part organic and not microwaved ready types of food. Stuff as simple as having chicken that is free range, not water pumped to make it weigh more when bought at the store, or having it injected with other unnecessary and unhealthy substances was shocking to hear, as I was completely under the assumption that what we have been eating is all soy and steroid-stuffed chicken breasts. Moreover, to know that the staff puts such rigorous time and care into what we eat means more to me as a lifer student. I can walk into the kitchen not only expecting a kind smile and a "how are you today" from Allison, Jesse, Tara, Shauna, James, Matt, David, Tracy, and more, but also expecting wholesome food to help me conquer the rest of the day. I would now like to invite Becky Hahn up to the podium to share her thoughts and some more information about the food at Shawnigan.
Good morning. My name is Becky and I'm taking AP Human Geography this year. About 2 months ago, while my class was studying a unit on agriculture, we went into the kitchen of Marion Hall for a brief tour. I learned things that I never knew about our school food, and I would like to share some of the things I learned. Before I toured, I did not know where any of our school food came from, and I kind of didn't trust it. After our tour of the kitchen, however, I learned that Mr. McClown, who runs the kitchen, tries his best to follow the 100 Miles Diet. The 100 Miles Diet is the concept of buying and eating locally grown food within 100 miles radius from where we live. For us Shawnigan, that means Mr. McClellan tries to buy food that produced primarily in Duncan or the Cowichan Valley. If not, he looks at Vancouver Island, then across BC, then Canada, lastly searching across North America if he must. Whenever possible, he sources and buys local and organic for us. Amazingly, our annual budget of dining hall is $1 million a year. That is 3,388 times higher than Afghanistan's GDP per capita. But it is important to keep this amount in perspective. The kitchen staff preps, cooks, serves over 1,500 meals a day to student, academic staff, maintenance, support staff, and staffs and guests. The budget covers all our food, pays for everyone's wage, replace all the broken plates and missing cutlery, which are easily found in boys' dorms these days. Surprisingly, we do not waste very much food. Mr. McClellan is very proud of the fact that the kitchen only produced 3 bags of garbages, 3 cubic meters of compost, and 6 bins of recycling per week. Also, any food that does not leave the kitchen prep area can be reused or donated to Service Club in Duncan for low-income families and homelessness. Did any facts or numbers surprise you? Then now I'd like to ask some questions. Hi, what's your name?
Connor.
Do you know where all the apples we eat in Shawnigan comes from?
A tree?
Cassia?
They come from hard-to-find farm in Cowichan Bay, and during the winter, we get apples from cold storage in the Okanagan.
Mr. Robertson, can you guess how much the school spends annually on haggis?
I know because I buy it. No, probably about $54.
Trick question, we don't spend any money on haggis.
Hi, Evan. Can you guess how much Shawnigan spends annually on milk?
A lot less now since I stopped drinking it.
Well, Evan, to your surprise, the school actually spends 500,000 to okay, this is a big number. 524, I can't even, okay, hold on a second. As Mr. Wilkin can testify, math is not my strong subject. Hold on, I'm just gonna read out the numbers here. 502, comma, $4.5 on milk per year, which a quarter of Evan you still consume, so you can't say you've cut back.
Wow, that's even more money than Frank Zhu spends on Supreme. Now, many of you probably wonder how much money the school spends on cookies each year. OG, can you take a guess?
A lot of money. No idea.
Well, we spend $35,000 a year on cookies. To put that in perspective, that's even more money than Mr. Lupton spends on hair loss therapy.
Good morning. What's your name?
Andrew.
What's your favorite meal in Shawnigan?
Haggis.
Thank you.
Are there any ranch lovers in the room? Can ranch lovers put up their hand?
Oh yeah, here, Spenny, we've, yeah, there you go. We got someone in the lakes in the back, very enthusiastically raised their hand.
Alright.
Yeah.
Can you please stand? It doesn't work back here? Okay, I'm going back. Okay.
Any other ranch lovers somewhere around here?
Eamon, how often do you use ranch?
Like twice a day.
Can you guess how many liters of ranch we buy a week? 32 liters, which is about as much beer as my dad. There.
What's your name?
Loren.
What do you think is the easiest meal to make in Shawnigan?
Breakfast? Like scrambled eggs? Cassia?
Very close. So some of the easiest meals to make at Shawnigan is the cereal bar, the pack of lunch, spaghetti and meatballs, chicken fingers, and taquitos.
Anders, can you please stand? Can you tell the audience what your favorite flavor of chicken and rice is?
Teriyaki, maybe?
It's a flavor. Okay, sit down. Eamon, I have another one for you. Question: Do you have any Do you have any questions about where your food comes from?
I'd like to know how they milk enough almonds in the morning to provide all the people who are lactose intolerant with milk.
Wait, do we have any Trump fan? What's your name?
Will?
The price of fruits from South America will go up. Any guess why?
I don't know.
Okay, so the reason the price of fruit might be skyrocketing is because Donald Trump is going to be placing some trade barriers between Mexico, the United States, and Canada because of NAFTA. So that could be affecting on how much fruit we're going to be getting in the next few years. So keep that into perspective.
Okay. Maya, can you please stand? Can you please give us extensive detail of the last time you said thank you to the kitchen staff?
Yesterday.
Okay. Tay, can you please stand? When was the last time you said thank you to the kitchen staff?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, we're done.
Spenny, just remember to drop off the mic.
Thank you so much for your participation. Human geography deals with the study of people and their communities, cultures, economies, and interaction with environment by studying their relation with and across space and place. You'll be amazed and shocked by everything you learn in this course, and it will change the way you look at things differently. If you have any questions about human geography or kitchen, please come talk to any of us or our teacher, Lozzie. Don't forget to say thank you to the kitchen staff and every staff member who deserve to be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. It has been a delight to share our knowledge and help bust some of the myths that exist surrounding Shawnigan food. As Staff Appreciation Day is tomorrow, it is important that we take into consideration how tremendously hard the kitchen staff works every single day to make food for over 600 people. Not only do they prepare it on time, every time, they also do it while accompanying to the many dietary restrictions many of us may or may not have, all while producing a wide variety of meals for us to enjoy. Some staff arrive as early as 5:30 in the morning to begin breakfast preparation, and some leave as late as 11:30 at night. Having worked at STAG this past year, I can testify that the food industry is not always an easy job. But regardless of what the situation may be, good or bad, the kitchen staff never fails to serve each of us with a smile, enthusiasm, and genuine interest to our well-being. That is why it is essential that we thank them all for the work that they put into every meal. If you think that thanking the kitchen staff regularly sounds a little bit too tedious, let me share you a quick story. For those of you who were here 2 years ago, you might remember a student by the name of Louise Espinoza. Now, at the end of the school year, Louise was given the title as the nicest kid in school by Mr. Welsh. But what many of you may not know is that Louise would come in after every single meal and thank all the members of the kitchen staff who were working at the time. Every single meal. If you don't believe me, ask James or various other staff members. The point of the story is that to this day, they are all so grateful for his small action, and they still remember who he is well after he left Shawnigan. Let Louise's legacy inspire you to express your gratitude to the kitchen staff. Overall, I hope you leave having a new appreciation for the food we have here at Shawnigan, and more importantly, the incredible staff who prepare it. They truly are some of the kindest people you will meet, and they love to interact with you and get to know what your favorite meals are, how your day is going, and what your plans for the future are. And just remember, a smile and a quick thank you goes a long way. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all a wonderful day.
Do we have an official award for the nicest student? I think do we? That's a good idea. We should create that. Thank you so much. That was so important and so interesting. I just want to ask a question. How many people here have some kind of dietary restriction, just to get a sense of what kind of this? Oh, interesting. So there's quite a few. How many people are vegetarians? I only ask this because I'm curious. Oh, not as many as I would have thought. Well, something to think about, and I can just add that I know personally that how much the kitchen staff appreciates when we do show appreciation to them. So that is a really important message to take away. So health, food is one part of health. The other part of health is what? To be healthy, what do you have to do? Well, sports, or more generally, exercise. And what's the very best kind of exercise? Absolutely, hands down. Singing. Well, singing's good, but more physical, close. Dancing, right? So I'm going to ask Lena and Alice to come forward and tell us quickly about an event that's coming up, a fundraiser that involves dancing. Ladies?
Good morning, guys. I'm Lena, and this is Alice. Next Saturday, on the 13th of May, Cowichan Intercultural Society will be hosting a dance-a-thon in Duncan. CIS is the leading immigrant and refugee aid organization in the Cowichan region. They help settle and educate immigrants, including Syrian refugees in the Cowichan region. Money donated from this event will benefit the building of a new intercultural welcome center.
Now, what is Dance-a-thon? Dance-a-thon is a dance marathon from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the 13th of May, which is a Saturday, and there will be 2 bus trips. The first one will be right after chapel, and for those of you who are in a competitive sport, there will be another bus at 3 p.m. You'll be picked up at 5:30, and you'll be able to see some different dance performances, like from polka dance to flamenco, and you also can dance yourself. Of course, there's going to be a lot of snacks, drinks, and Panago pizzas. Entrance fees $5, and we'll send a Google Doc for you to sign up for. The money will be charged to your parents' account.
Also, there are many great volunteering opportunities. So if you're interested, we'll be sending another Google Doc for you to sign up. This is the first free Saturday after all the AP exams are done. So why not come and have fun? Meet new people, enjoy the food, and help our community. If you have any questions, please come and talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. And just to say, I'm really been so impressed with Lena has really taken this on herself to support this event in support of the Cowichan Intercultural Society. So she's really given a lot of time to that. So please consider it carefully. So we're going to engage in, yes, the second best kind of exercise that exists on the face of the earth, which is singing, of course. And so maybe we can do a little better than we did with the first hymn, just a wee bit. And we're going to sing Amazing Grace, hymn number 6. Please quietly stand. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, that was much better. That was really nice. I'm just going to ask the grade 10s to please stay after when everybody else is gone, and everyone have a wonderful day. Thanks.